If it was easy, everybody would do it. Everyone would be living overseas, be financially free, dating better, exploring history, working from a laptop in a new city every month. But they're not. And that's what makes it all worth it. Because the truth is, most guys will never make it. That's a sad reality. I wish more guys did, I really do. But the reality is, most won't make it. The endless scroll will eat them alive. Call of Duty on their Xbox will eat them alive. The procrastination, the fear, half measures. Most guys will die with their dreams still locked inside of them. But there's power in a real decision. And any man who looks himself in the mirror and says, I will make it no matter what, I believe him. Because I heard Tony Robbins say once at an in-person convention I went to, that there are two types of people I can help. I can help people who are doing awesome and they're hungry for more, they're passionate, they're nearly insane. And Tony said, I can help those people. And then he said, I can also help the people who are at rock bottom. They're in despair. They don't know what to do. They don't have any answers. They just have a ton of questions. And they'll do anything for a change. They're just so tired and sick of living that way. But then he caught me off guard because he said, you know who I can't help? It's the people who are stuck in mediocrity. You know, the kinda, sorta, bored, but you know, it's not too hot in here, it's not too cold. I would like something better, but I'll be okay if I don't have it. You know, I'm just okay with being average. He said, I cannot help those people. Because when you get to the point of making a decision, that's how it all starts. And when I made the decision to go ahead and try something different, what happened to me is I got in that deep, dark place where I said, you know, I just cannot take this anymore. I'm willing to do anything. I won't settle for this. Not with luck, not with some perfect opportunity that was going to fall in my lap. It all starts at the beginning with a decision. But I'll tell you something that changed my life completely. Something simple, something that's nearly free, but more powerful than almost anything else that I've found. Writing things down, physically, on paper. Not on your phone, not on your computer, pen to paper. And you know what I consider to be my most valuable possession? It goes with me everywhere in the world? My notebook. It goes with me everywhere. And no, I don't write anything personal in here. There's no bank accounts or passwords in here. This would be utterly useless to anybody else in the world. But if you want to be great, listen to the greats. You know, success leaves clues. I've heard Joe Rogan say it on multiple occasions. He says, you gotta write shit down. Brian Tracy, Jim Rohn, they all say the same thing. You gotta write your goals down on paper and then review them continually and consistently, because there's something magical that happens when you put things down on paper. It's like it crystallizes your dreams into something real and tangible. It gives them weights. It sets a direction for your life. And you just cannot keep it all up here, because what happens is you'll forget. You'll lose focus on them, on the things that matter to you. And you know, the people that don't do this, what happens is they end up just kind of blowing around in whichever way the direction of the wind blows, right? And they'll end up doing that for an entire lifetime. So don't leave it to chance. And the next thing we got to talk about is scarcity versus abundance mentality. Most guys live trapped in a scarcity mentality. They're always thinking, you know, I don't have enough money. There isn't enough money in the world. I don't know the right people. You know, I'm not lucky enough like that guy over there. But back to the scarcity, it's really not a lack of resources that are your problem. It's a lack of resourcefulness. And once you understand that, you take the power back in the whole situation. It gives you actually something that you can do about it and that you can make the change. It's not that the world doesn't have enough opportunities. I mean, you can literally create opportunity out of thin air. The problem is that it's that most men never apply themselves hard enough or smart enough. They don't think that they're creative enough. They don't realize how much abundance is sitting right there in front of them, waiting for them if they just attacked harder and thought bigger. And I don't mean like, oh, like, what do I mean by that? Like, let's start cold calling my friends and asking them for money, start begging people for money. No, I'm talking about seeing new angles, building new skills, finding new doors, hidden doors, thinking bigger.
And let's face it, the reason why there aren't a ton of more guys out here traveling, living, dating internationally is because of the finances. That's why I put together a free guide for you guys. 7 financial paths to traveling the world and living overseas. You can download it for free. Link in the description.
Why it's so good that it's actually hard. Be grateful it's hard, guys, because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. And the value of this, the joy and excitement of it would be much less. You know, everybody would be rich. Everybody would be free. Everybody would be living the dream overseas with exotic women and pina coladas, right? But they're not. And they won't be. They won't ever be, which is called opportunity. That's how you can call this, because it gives you an opportunity to separate yourself from the pack. And as Dana White famously said, and I heard him say this in a podcast, I'll never forget it. If you just have 1 ounce of savage in you, you can squash these cats. You can squash this competition. And I've found that to be a reality. And every time that you write your goals down, every time you take another step in the right direction, every time you refuse to give into that endless scroll of distraction, you separate yourself further and further from the herd. And you know, it is intimidating to eat a huge elephant in one sitting, right? But how do you do it? Well, you just get started 1 step at a time, 1 bite at a time. And the struggle of this whole thing, it's not a bug in the system. It was designed that way, to be a struggle. It's what makes the success meaningful and fulfilling. So I'd love to hear from you. Wherever you are right now, are you grinding, struggling, doubting? I'd love to drop a comment in there. I'd love to hear from you. But remember this, it's not supposed to be easy, and that's the point. The magic you're looking for isn't out there somewhere. It's buried inside the work that you keep avoiding. So dig in, stay sharp, be strategic, write things down, and make your success not by luck, but by design. Fight for it like your life depends on it, because it does. And then you'll wake up one day with a life that you built with your own 2 hands. And while everyone else is still scrolling, still dreaming, still playing Call of Duty and watching Netflix, they're still waiting. They're still waiting for someone to come tell them exactly what to do and how to do it. Waiting for someone to come hand them the easy way while you already have made it. All right?